Konnichiwa. Hello, it is I, Josuiji Shinri, Ronin Tempus from HOLOSTARS English. Good morning, good morning. Alright, okay, Chad, I have to be honest. It takes me a little while to like remember to say that. I'm still not completely used to it, so I will try my best to keep memorizing it, like reminding myself to say that. I have to say, I had a lot of fun last night. Okay. I think some of you may have caught on during the stream. That was not the first time I played Mortuary Assistant. You guys caught me. I was, throughout the gameplay, I was looking over and like glancing over at chat every now and then I would see a couple of people being like, wait a minute, this isn't Shinri's first, run. He's been around the rodeo a few times. Yeah. So I knew alright. So you guys know that all the boys and I, we have our little 1 hour restriction when it comes to these games. So I wanted to pick one that was nice and cozy and not too difficult. That I knew I could finish within an hour. And I kind of like had prepared Mortuary Assistant as one of those like really nice games that I could wrap up neatly. Yeah, very comfy, right? Cozy. I'm glad many of you guys found it cozy. Okay, so here's the real thing though. The debut, I did mention that I really love horror games that have a lot of lore. And the big thing that I really love about Mortuary Assistant is that you can go the entire game and not come across much of the lore. I think if you start just kind of playing the game out of the box, you don't really understand what's going on. You'll see a lot of like jump scares happen, and like a lot of those, I believe they call it story scenarios or story segments. And you can kind of play through the entire game and experience 1 or 2 of those and kind of not really understand what's going on. Multiple endings, exactly. I kind of think that the general way that a lot of people end up playing the game is to just kind of treat it as a jump scare game. They'll play it, and then the entire point is to get scared, have some funny reactions, and get clipped in chat. And that's completely valid too. However, for me, the way that I was kind of like alerted to the fact that there would be, a bit more to the game was because there were just so many endings there. Endings 1 out of 5. What could those 5 endings be, right? And then you get curious. You're like, wait a minute. I thought I did it right? I played the game the way it was supposed to be played, but there's still 4 more endings out there. So what does that mean? Like, what does that tell you? And I got like really involved in it. And my favorite thing is just how much of it is not told to you. And I think that's wonderful. I love games that don't straight up tell you, like, by the way, like, hey, here's, this thing that you gotta like pay attention to, Instead, it's kind of leaves you up to, the game leaves you on your own to figure things out. I really love that. Like, I think that's the best way to do it, because you might play the game and you just kind of think to yourself, I want to get good at this game, right? And you just kind of want to enjoy it. And then every now and then you'll come across like a little snippet, a little teaser of some lore, and you're like, wait a minute, has that always been there? Like, has that little piece of, that little knowledge over there, has it always just been sitting there? And you like start to notice things, and then as you start to pay more attention, a little more and a little more, you're like, wait a minute, there's a story here, there's something going on. Next, all of these little dots, and oh my gosh, I see chat tossing in Outer Wilds, Phasmophobia, FNAF. I would love to play a lot more games. Fortunately, right now we kind of have to like stick with our 1 hour schedule. So I'll try to like schedule them later on when I have more of an open schedule, because okay, to be fair, I have been watching Vesper play Outer Wilds, and I like that sense of discovery of like him just like slowly figuring things out and piecing things together and like understanding like the little intricate like gimmicks and just how each planet works and how they have their own little thing. I was like completely engrossed in it. I didn't watch all of it. I only watched like a couple of hours, I think. Like 2 hours, 3 hours of it, just to like see what it's about. And oh my goodness, I had to quit. I had to leave because I saw that. I was like, no, this game is definitely one of those that I would love to play and experience on my own. Dark Souls 1 is good for that. Subnautica. Ooh, I think, didn't Des play Subnautica? I think so. Ooh, all right. So the difficult part is like trying to stay away from like spoiling myself and like watching his videos, or his like the VODs, watching the VODs, and like wanting to get really engrossed in it. 10-hour stream. Oh my gosh. Okay. I will. Hey, hang on. Let me write it down. Let me write that note. All right. Write that down. All right. Have it down. So I have with me like a little notepad that I write down. It's a reminder, chat. My memory is not that great. Perhaps the koi fish is a very good parallel, to say the least. So if you would love to like leave a comment or like poke me on like Twitter, like leave a message in the replies afterwards, like please do so. Otherwise, I have to like rely on this little notepad just to write things down, or else I will forget it. Like by the time the entire 1 hour Zatsu this morning is gone, I will have forgotten everything I say. Yeah. All right. Okay, so Subnautica, Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is not necessarily a horror game though, is it? It's more of like a, how would you say it? Like, it almost reminds me of like, I don't know how many will know, like Myst, the very old like puzzle game. Exploration, sci-fi, yeah. Ooh, give me just a moment. Apologies, I had to clear out my throat so quick. Scary because of the unknown. Yeah. I think, that makes me think, you know, one of the big things, like just let's go back to the Mortuary Assistant stream yesterday for just a moment. I think one of the nicest things is that it really does present a lot of the mysterious happenings as like part of the unknown. And I definitely agree. The unknown part of it really does add to the fear factor. When things are happening, you don't know what's causing it, or when you think you're alone, but someone is there with you. You know it. You just have that feeling, right? I think that's like wonderful. I think that's like really cool because it really plays on like some of the like core, you know, aspects of horror that you have. Oh my goodness. Speaking of, I think just like in general, like horror movies and games and just like short stories and all that, even like spooky, like creepypasta, I think. For those of you guys who are like really into like internet creepypasta, I think some of the best things about horror is when they pick one small fear, not like a terrifying fear of like, I guess, fear of dying, right? Like nothing like really big or obvious, right? But just something that's a little bit, eerie, right? For example, I think one of my most favorite like areas to focus on, creepypasta reading stream. Ooh, that sounds really amazing. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna go talk to manager and see if we can get that approved. Creepypasta reading stream. There we go. All right, we'll see if I can get approval for that, because we got to make sure everything's all nice and peachy there. But chat, I think, for example, the fear of being watched is especially when you are sure there is no one around you. I think that's really good. I think that is really, really good. I know there was a game that kind of explored it. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Right? It is terrifying, right? And the thing is, it's one of the fears that's very easy to do that adds a lot of atmosphere to a game. And the way that you do that is by, just giving you free view, like open view, Like let's say you're in a room, there's nothing in there, it's just empty walls, there's nothing, there's no decorations, it's empty. You can turn around left and right, up and down. You can see it. And like with your own eyes, you can confirm the room is empty. But still, there's that little sensation, that little tinge at the back of your head that tells you, no, there's something wrong. Something is going on here. I think that kind of fear is amazing. And one of the big things that I love about that is because it makes you question your own senses. I think that's really wonderful. And I know it's a bit difficult to do in games, without it coming across as very corny, because you can just, make things appear and disappear in games, and if you do it too much, it just ends up becoming little silly, right? But I really like that. If you're able to get the atmosphere down, I think, Chilla's art horror games. I'm seeing the closing shift coming up a couple of times. I don't have the closing shift scheduled, but later tonight I do have night delivery scheduled. Unlike Mortuary Assistant, I've actually not played night delivery, so this will be my first time going into it. I have not tried it yet. I know of it. I know it was a very popular one, but it was one of those games that I just kind of almost pigeonholed. Well, maybe not pigeonholed. Filed away, I suppose would be the best way to put it. I kind of saw it and noticed other people playing it. I was like, oh, that's a short horror game. And then I just kind of mentally checked it away, and I have not played it myself. But yeah. Now we get fresh eyes. I know. I won't have the little shield of I know this game already and I know what to do, right? Inscription? More Chilla's art horror games. I do want to, but I think how can I frame this? I think there are some games that for me don't really click, because it ends up becoming more about, there was one Chilla's art horror game that I found a little lackluster when I had played it in the past. I think it was the train station. Is that what it's called? Night train? I forget. There's a few that was very good. I think the convenience store. The convenience store was really, really good. I really liked that one. Ghost Train. Yeah, that one. I don't know why. Something about it I thought did not quite hit. It didn't really hit. I know there was a lot of eerie moments there, but I felt like it was more focused on just the gameplay and less of the spooky ambiance and the spooky atmosphere, The radio station. Oh, I'm a very bad driver. I know that one involves a lot of driving, so you will have to forgive me if we play that one. We will try to focus on the horror of the game and not my terrible driving. I don't know, chat. Okay, there's something going on with games, especially when it's in first person, or even worse in third person, I think, where if you're driving a vehicle, there's a disconnect in my head, when I'm controlling a character in third person, I get the left and right shift, right? I can understand that, that makes sense in my head. But then when you put me in a vehicle, there's a disconnect, and I'm I don't know how far I can turn, or how much I should be turning. Banned from driving during the Tempest road trip. See, this is why, as a rodent, I like to walk around or just use a bike, you know? But yeah, absolutely. Oh, Mario Kart. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. That would be very embarrassing to see, but I would be happy to support everyone from 12th place, I think, is the very furthest back you can go. I will be cheering everyone on from the very back of the race. The Sunday driver. I've heard of Vesper's rant about that. Rant? Speech? I don't know what you would call it. It was a very impassioned discussion about the Sunday driver perk. HQ versus Vanguard, Mario Kart. Ooh. Can you do that? Can you have like 4x4, like 4x4 teams? Isn't like Mario Kart all just like everyone for themselves? A very passionate discussion. Sorry, I had to sip my coffee real quick. I can't make any promises because I will have to go and give them a poke and see what their schedules are like and what they're feeling and whether we can all get the right permissions for everything. So I can't promise anything, but I will say that does sound like a very, very fun game, or like a fun stream experience. Event, I guess, would be the broadest way to put it. Oh, how do I drink my coffee? Oh, I actually just drink it like black without sugar or creamer, no half and half. This started a long time ago when I was very young, as a very young Ronin, just wandering around. I ended up... Oh, Chad, it's not that surprising. Truly a dad way. Old man, yeah. I'm the one that will drive over to restaurants to go through the drive-thru and then just order a coffee. I don't know. So here's the thing. In my defense, when it comes to coffee, I enjoy the bitterness of it, the flavor. There's something about it that when I first started drinking coffee, I really did need to put in a lot of creamer and a lot of sugar. Then, unfortunately, as it does, life ended up getting very busy. And then I just couldn't find the time to like carefully measure out the creamer and the sugar and all that. And one day I just kind of had a bad experience where I like accidentally put too much creamer and too much sugar, and it just kind of ended up tasting funny, like way too sweet for my taste. I think I don't know if anyone else gets this, but for me, as I got older, I found myself getting very sensitive to sweets. I know Bettel and Maki-chan, they like really love sweets, but for me, I find it like it hurts my teeth a little bit. It's a weird thing to say, but I think like I have weakened enamel, so like the teeth, it's very sensitive, you know? Yeah, I think sweets that are like a mild muted sweetness are okay. So something like a sweet potato or a sweet yam cake, I think, like a taro boba, like those I think are just the right amount of sweetness for me, where it has like a nice little, a hint of sweetness, but not too much, Yeah, yam cake. Yeah. So like that's kind of like that's the level of sweetness that I like. And this one time I just had coffee with too much sweetener and too much creamer, and then I just kind of got really grossed out by it. And then the next day I just had coffee black. I didn't add anything into it. I didn't put any sugar, no creamer. And I just kind of got used to that the flavor of like bitterness, Natural sweetness. Yeah. I think maybe, oh yeah, mochi. Mochi is like a good amount of sweetness. Matcha? Oh yes, matcha is perfect. This one, oh my goodness. Okay, so I need to get like permission to to share, but I have some photos of the places I've been to back in Zirakuni, and I've had matcha before that was made the authentic way. And I don't know too much about it. I was never really too like into the whole matcha, but I do have like little photos of authentic matcha being made. So I'll ask managers if I can get those and like share them with you all. But I had some and it was really nice. It was really nice. I know some people don't like it because of the texture, and some people don't like it because of the bitterness. I think a lot of people who find it surprising, I guess, when it comes to matcha, like the flavor and the texture of it, are only really used to like quote unquote matcha, you know, like the ones where it's very, very sweet and kind of mixed in with like coffee, I guess. Like, how would I describe this? Like one of those, like, it's like a sugary dessert is what I would explain it, you know? Like there's matcha teas and like matcha coffees and all that, and like matcha, oh yeah, the Kit Kat matchas, yeah. So there's like a lot of people who have the misconception that matcha should be sweet. They think it's like a dessert. So when they try authentic matcha, it's a little bit of a shock because it's very bitter. It is very, the way that I would describe it would almost be like chalky in texture. It would be, I think, like if you got like a small piece of chalk and then you crushed it and then you poured water into it. Like that's the kind of texture, like that's how I would describe like authentic matcha. And it is a little bit of a shock if you're not prepared for it. It sounds awful. It's actually not that bad. Earthy, ooh, that's a very good way to describe it. I like that. Yeah, it's a very earthy kind of a texture. I really, wow, that's such a nice way to describe it, actually. Yeah, I would say like 100%. Give yourself the permission to just experience it and go in without any preconceived notions. Go in without any expectations. Just kind of let yourself try it. And I think it's really good. It's really nice. It mellows out as it goes on. Tastes like grass. Okay, hold up, Chad. It doesn't taste like grass. It tastes like vegetation, you know, like in general, right? I say this because I know what grass tastes like, because there were times when I was very bored wandering around Zenokuni with nothing better to do, so I would just pick up a long blade of grass and just chew on it a little bit. in between bouts of monster hunting. I would chat. No. Okay. It's not like I'm diving down into the grassy, you know, like the grassy plains and fields and all that, just grabbing a handful of it and shoving it into my mouth. No. I mean, like, you know, just one long, you know, blade of grass here and there. just like my animes, right? Don't touch grass, eat the grass. No, not like that. Oh my goodness, Chad. So, all right, what were we talking about before the whole eating grass thing? Oh yeah, we were talking about coffee. Yeah, coffee. You know, the bitterness of it, right? I've come to like bitter tasting drinks in my life. I don't know why. It's, I think it started with coffee and then it has gone on to like just general drinks, and like mostly drinks in general, like teas, like some beers and some like cocktails. I don't know, something about the bitterness is like very nice to me. I think maybe it's like a little, the little extra kick, you know? I think for me, the sweet drinks are, they in my mind, I have classified sweet drinks as like a dessert. You know, like when I think about a Coca, like a soda or like a soft drink, you know, a fizzy pop. I think like when I think about those, you know, I think that they are a dessert. You know, I don't think that they're more like a beverage that accompanies a drink. I think they're more of a treat, like a little, you know, like after the meal, instead of like, say, a nice piece of fruit, you would replace it with a soda, you know, like something like that. More of a kid's juice? Not necessarily. I know like, you know, adults and grown-ups can also enjoy those, but I think it's a treat, you know, like not something you should be drinking a lot, but like when you want to like treat yourself to something like nice, you've accomplished a task, or maybe you've had just a rough day and you want to like relax, you know, something like that. That's so in my mind, for example, like when I go out here in Elysium and, you know, look around the guild halls and like go grab some food, you know, they'll offer some soda, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like I should be drinking soda, you know? Hey, Hakka, good to see you. You left the stove on. Oh my goodness. I believe in you, Hakka. I know you can do this. Do not give up and do your best to protect those that you love. I believe. Oh, there are more than one room. There's more than one room inside the guild hall. Exercise that stove. Oh my goodness. Hey, Hakka, wait, speaking of, we were talking about this like idea or like this general plot line for a Hollow Tempest fanfiction, which I think the hashtag Tempest Tales right now is currently winning on the Twitter poll. We were thinking about this one time where like the dishwasher would be broken and then you would try to like cast your magic on it to fix it, but then it ends up backfiring and then the dishwasher gets possessed by one of the yokai that you had exorcised, and then it goes on a rampage, and it's just a silly day of the Tempest boys trying to fight this possessed this dishwasher. Make sure that doesn't happen though. Pretty accurate, not gonna, no. Hakka, that's exactly what we're not supposed to do. How would the house catch on fire if it's a dishwasher? You know? I hope you're having a wonderful day though. Isn't it pretty early though? It's very, very early. Very early. Where was I? Bleach your parts with water, go bzz. Ah, yeah. Hakka, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. By the way, chat, since Hakka is here and reminded me, tomorrow, so not today, well, I say relatively, how would I say this? Like 20, 24, 36, so about 36 hours from now, I think. About 36 hours from now, Hakka and I will have our very first one-on-one collab with Fogs. Yeah, I think some of you may have seen the waiting room out there already. So yes, please keep your eye out for that. Yeah, time zone's a little bit difficult, but we're trying to get like a nice little round of collabs. So all of us will be kind of going around here at Tempest Vanguard, you know, collabing with one another. So you'll get to see a lot of our schedules kind of like bouncing back and forth. So please keep an eye out for that and check out the waiting rooms. Yeah, attached, exactly, right? It's the one with the cute little the puppy game where you play as this like puppy tube, a tube of puppies. No, like it's a singular tube, I think, like a slinky, right? And then you have a puppy head on one end, or no, a puppy head on both ends, and you each control one side, you know? I think it's a slinky. Maybe tube was probably not the best word to use to describe of it. But I'm yeah, more like a slinky. Yeah, like the old cartoon cat dog. Exactly. So yeah, please keep your eye out for that. So I should warn everyone right now. I should. Just to avoid the whiplash, I think. It said that they are always tied. A birdfish. Oh, that would be terrifying. All right, so I will... As a content warning or a spoiler, I will warn you all right now. The two types of games that I really love are horror games and very cute games. So you will see me play things like Visage or Madison or Resident Evil, and then the very next day switch over to Slime Rancher or Graveyard Simulator or like Stardew Valley, and I will be rapidly flipping back and forth between the two types of games. So I apologize for any mood whiplashes that you experience going from absolute terrifying horror games all the way over to the comfiest and coziest games. So I think, and if I can find like the perfect game that fits in the middle, I like, oh my goodness. I saw it scrolling by, Cult of the Lamb. I've seen a lot of people play playing that. A lot of fun with that too. But yeah, I could definitely toss out there. Omori? Ooh. The Gamboe in the content of games. Doki Doki Literature Club. Okay. So I did mention this yesterday. I definitely do want to play through Doki Doki Literature Club. However, given that Axel is currently still playing it, and he's not finished the entire thing, I do want to give it a little bit of time, just a little bit of time, so it's not like I'm picking it up right after he drops it. So I want to wait a little bit, just kind of a nice little distance, let him finish, and then I'll pick it up afterwards. Yeah. Chad, okay, I really appreciate all of you guys like throwing in suggestions. I really appreciate it, but like I said, my memory is not that great. So for those of you in chat right now, or those of you watching VODs, by the way, hello VOD watcher, it's good to have you all here. Thank you for checking out the VOD. And oh wait, hold on, give a little wink as a little thank you to the VOD watchers. So we have that, but if you leave a comment on the VOD or a comment on the Twitter thread or the Twitter post, it'll help me go back and review all the recommendations. So please do like put it somewhere there in writing that I can see it, because I do have the memory of a goldfish while I am like live streaming right at the moment. Oh my goodness, chat. Okay, chat. I will say, as someone who has worked in Zenokuni and not like really experienced working here, I will say this is the first time I have seen chat wave hello to VOD watchers like that and say hello VOD gang. Like, that is so sweet. You guys are so sweet. No way. Oh, that's really adorable. Oh my goodness. I've never seen that before, but that's really sweet. I really love that. Like the fact that you guys would just jump straight to doing that. Oh my goodness. Did I just see someone wave hi to themselves because they know that they'll go back and rewatch the VOD? I think, or did I just misread? The message flew by too quickly. I will say that's a pretty powerful move. The power play right there. Oh my goodness, that's really sweet. I love that. Oh my goodness, you guys are like so supportive. It's just so like so considerate, you know? I love it. I'm here, there me. Hello me. That reminds me, chat. Have you guys ever like created like little time capsules for yourselves? I think it's like really great. I think I did have every now and then. So like the way that I write time capsules for myself is to write a time capsule or like have the idea, you know, like it comes into my mind and I think to myself, yeah, this is a good idea, and I'll write it. And then I'll make it the time capsule for myself and then promptly forget about it. And then it will completely slip my mind and I will never think about it until, you know, until my room gets very messy. And then I'm like, no, Shinri, I have to clean my room. You gotta take better care of yourself than this. And then I will go and do a deep clean of my room. And then of course, every single time you are deep cleaning your room, you will find it. It'll come out, it'll pop out somewhere. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, it's my time capsule. And then you just stop cleaning your room to just sit down and like go through your old time capsule. Like, I have done that, and I'll tell myself, okay, I'm gonna set this weekend, Shinri. Like, you gotta do this, you gotta clean the room this weekend, right? We're gonna set aside all of Saturday to do it. And then I waste half of my Saturday just sitting there going through my little time capsule and like looking at all the little trinkets and notes I left for myself, and the you know, the hopes and dreams, the doodads and gadgets of the past days. And the thing is, because my brain is so it's one of those like out of sight, out of mind types. If I don't see it, it doesn't really register into my mind until I see it again, which is why I try to keep my room nicely organized. Okay, full disclosure, I say organized. I don't mean tidy or clean or like minimalistic. I mean organized, all right? I use that word for a very specific reason, because it is organized in the way that my brain is able to handle the chaos, right? Exactly, there's the so I keep my room organized, all right? Not tidy, not clean, organized. So I do that in a way so that it makes me remember and see things. You know, if I have something important, I'll put it in a spot that my eyes will always see, you know, like a little sticky note under the monitor, or like maybe I'll leave it on top of my wallet and keys, you know, just so that when I go out and I like need to grab it, I'll like reach for it and they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, what's this? And then there'll be a nice little note for me, you know? So when it comes to that, I don't really remember things like that. It'll come up to my mind when I see it. So going through like those little time capsules, I will leave a note for myself. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it's been, you know, 3 years since I've seen this time capsule. Since I have it now, I have it in my possession, and I like have it right in front of me, I might as well go ahead and leave a note for myself, right? I'll like add a few more things, like, all right, cool. Like, hey, Shinri, you know, it's been 3 years since you've seen this, but here's what's happened. Here's what's changed. You know, the hopes and dreams, you know, the things I was able to accomplish, some of the challenges that I had to face, and things like that. You know, I'll add to my time capsule during those moments, you know? And when it's like right there in my mind, I'll like, you know, I'll be like, all right, well, it's time now. Since I haven't, I'll go ahead and dump a few, you know, trinkets, a little memories of what happened between that time. And I will promptly go ahead and close it after I'm done and put it away somewhere, and then forget about it until the next period when I go ahead and deep clean my room. So that's kind of how like I like leave notes and messages for myself. I think this was a little bit sad. Well, I guess not sad, just unfortunate. I think unfortunate. There's not much like emotional connection to it, but there was a camera that I had used to use that uses this very like broad and flat The name of the card, the format of like the card gives me a little bit, it like escapes me right now. I forget what it's called, but it's very flat. And it's not an SD card. It's like a little memory card. It's definitely a plastic card. I forget what it is, but like there was this one time when I used to have a camera that used it. And then I had taken a lot of photos on it. And I remember these are photos just of, you know, some of my old friends that I used to hang around with. And the quality wasn't that bad. A memory stick? A floppy disk? No, it wasn't a floppy disk. It was definitely a digital type of, it wasn't like an analog thing. I see it a lot, but unfortunately it doesn't really strike. None of these words, none of them seem to like stick out. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe I'll have to go back and look it up myself. Wait, I see a lot of people talking about me. No, it wasn't that one. This one looks very sturdy. The one I'm thinking of was like very flat and it was very plastic. But I don't know what it was called. But I may have to go look at it later on. But I remember having those like all the pictures located in the card, and I just couldn't find it again. Like I couldn't find the reader for it. So I have it with me. Or I say I have it with me. I have it inside my time capsule, but I have no way to actually read it. You know, I don't have a way to like actually access the memories that are inside there because I don't know, like I don't have the hardware to read it. And I feel like it's a little bit bittersweet because I know the memories are there. I just can't access it, you know? And if I could find a way to look back into it, then I would. But for now, I think it's just one of those like little moments of like, I kind of know like, oh, this holds good memories. I know it holds good memories. I just can't see them yet, but I know it's still there. I know it hasn't been damaged and it hasn't been like, you know, corrupted or destroyed. It's because it's kind of frozen in time, you know? So there are moments like that where I'll see it, and because it was a thing of the times that like, doesn't really, I want to say like, it doesn't like actively influence me. It just reminds me of what it used to be. If that makes sense. CF card readers are no longer in production. Ah, that's unfortunate. I can understand why though. Smart media. I see that one coming up a few times. No, it's not a Betamax. Let me see. No way. No, that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah. It's like super flat. It looks like a floppy, but it's like got the little metal connectors on it. Yeah, that's the one. Oh my goodness, these are old. Yeah, it's a smart media one. Oh my goodness, Chad, you guys, you are on top of it. Oh my goodness. All right. Now that you want here, I like this a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. Thank you all. Oh my goodness, thank you. I'm gonna go write that down so I can go pick one up. I don't know, do they still make those? I think, Okay, now that I know what it is, I think the challenge for me now is to go and find my time capsule again, because I have not found it in a while. It's somewhere in my room, in my closet, in the guild hall, somewhere around here. There's still a few. Ooh, okay. I will have to look out for that then. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Film is making a comeback. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. Oh my goodness, Chad. I didn't expect this to be, didn't expect to like find this out this morning when I woke up, but yeah. Unpacking? Ooh. Like a game about actually unpacking memories and like going back. Oh, yeah. I can definitely add that on there. Oh, I don't have that much, how would I say this? As a lone wandering Ronin, I am very much the type of person who ends up behind the camera, you know? Like, I don't actually go in front of the camera lenses that often. So when it comes to old photographs and just going through old memories like that, there are very few photos that I have of me. To be fair, part of it may be because my selfie game is lacking. But I don't know, like, there's something about it. I like being behind the camera. I like being the one that frames the picture and like frames the memory. And for me, something about that is very nice because there's always like an emotional connection to it. Like when I see the photo, I'll be like, all right, so this was the sensation of like the wind, what I smelled in the air, the feeling of the gravel beneath my shoes, you know, the texture of the plants and the grass and the bushes around me, you know, I'll feel that. And that's kind of what I get as a memory. And something about my mindset almost makes me think like maybe it's better that I don't be in the photo. Maybe it's better that I don't make it about like a, hey, check it out, I was here. More of like, this photo is for me, you know, like the person that encapsulates this memory or the photograph encapsulates this emotion, the feelings of that time. It's for me, you know? It's not for me to go and be and share on like social media, be like, hey, check out Shinri's been here, or like Shinri was here, you know, like carving my name into a tree, you know, not like that, but more of I was able to enjoy this, you know, peaceful, serene environment, you know, and that sense of freedom, the sense of openness, and just that nice, calm feeling. And when I see a picture without me in it, even though I'm not in it, I know like, hey, I took that picture. I know where I was standing. I know what I was looking at. I know what I was thinking. All those really core like feelings come back to me. So in a way, it's a little bittersweet because I don't see myself in those photos. And it's hard to share those photos with others because for them, you know, if I just showed you guys a picture of a nice little like a little forest, right? You'll see that and think to yourself like, oh wow, that's a nice picture with some trees, some nice bushes and all that. You know, there's some mushrooms down there on the ground and some of these flowers have bloomed. It looks nice, right? But that's because you guys are seeing it out of context. And for me, when I see that, it makes me think of the time when I got lost in the forest and I didn't know where I was going, but it was okay because I was just exploring and seeing what was around me and really just kind of letting myself get lost. Not being lost, but giving myself the permission to be lost, you know? Like that context is missing when I show other people a photograph of that. But I don't know, for me, those kinds of photos are what really like have a lot of impact to me, you know? Sorry, just listen to me rambling about like photographs and getting like really deep into this. Jack, can you see why I like really enjoy slice of life? The little things in life, right? the thing about like, okay, the thing about slice of life is like, all right. Let's take an example. All right, Yudu Camp. I know it's very common. It's very popular. A lot of people know of it. You know, they don't know everything about it, but like, you know, like generally what the characters are, right? And I believe Rin, right? How she is very introverted and likes to spend time on her own. And if you think about it, right? if you go through the experience in her shoes and you just kind of go camping on your own, think about who you're sharing that experience with. There's no one to see you. There's no one to be there and experience it with you. But it's a very personal, it's a very like, I say selfish, but not in like a negative connotation. It's more of like a self-centric viewpoint of like experiencing that camping trip. And I like slice of life anime because you get to experience that. Like if you were in Rin's shoes, you would be there alone and you wouldn't be able to share that with anyone. You wouldn't be able to, pull in your friends and family into that and like let them know like, hey, listen to the wilderness, right? Or experience these vibes, or just enjoy the atmosphere, right? But when it comes to slice of life anime, you get to watch that as a third person and just kind of see like, oh, this is how they're enjoying the time alone. This is how they're enjoying, that distance they have from civilization to let them really go out wild, right? It would be like if we had an anime where we are like an invisible spectator and we get to go through the wilderness and then just kind of stare at like a Vesper at his little campsite, doing his own thing, right? Like to him, that's a very personal experience, but like we get to all watch that. And because we're watching it, there's that shared connection, that little community sense of like, we're all there watching a Vesper documentary, and here is Vesper Noir in his natural habitat with his boar hunting spear. But like through that third person perspective, through that, media, through the show, everyone is able to have that same experience. We're all able to watch Vesper, dancing around the campfire with the spear, making chants and going around and setting up ice fishing. I think was like one of the most recent things I heard him talk about. But like you're able to watch that as a show, and then you get to go to your friends and be like, hey, did you see that latest episode, And then just really talk about that and really be able to enjoy that moment, which would otherwise have been a very solitary and isolated moment for the person, involved in that story. But because you get to see it as a show, you're able to share that with your friends. You're able to experience it together. And I think that kind of thing is the way like the way that it frames like little mundane things, or I guess what most people would call mundane, right? The minutiae of daily life, things like that. The way that is able to package it neatly in a way that everyone is able to consume it nicely and then share it, I think like that is wonderful. And that's like part of why I just absolutely love slice of life, like anime, manga, and it's just, I have a really big soft spot for it. I love it so much. The Vesper Truman Show. Last time on like Vesper, I don't know, Planet Vesper. Do you have a favorite? Favorite slice of life anime? I think the one that comes up to my mind the most is Barakamon. It's a calligraphy anime. It features this main character who it really wants to get good at calligraphy and goes through like lots of trials and tribulations and just a lot of, I think the thing that sticks out to me, like it's been a while since I've seen it, but it stands out to me as one of my favorites because I remember the conflict that it had. The big conflict that the main character faced was not an external conflict. It was an internal conflict. And I thought that was like amazing because like a lot of the struggles that you see is like inside yourself, like the self-doubt, like, can I really do this? Like, am I really cut out for it? Like, I know people say that I can be good, but can I really live up to, the version of me that they see? can I really live up to that kind of stuff? Like, I think that is like it hit close to home a lot. And there was like a very strong like emotional connection with it. So like I think that one would have to be one of my favorites. I would say there's a lot. There's quite a lot there. I can't pick out one, but when it comes to like the ones that stick out enough in my memory that they would pop up like that whenever someone asks me a question like that, I trust my gut instinct and think to myself, there must be a reason why it keeps coming up to my mind. There must be a reason why when someone asks me what's your favorite, that anime particularly pops up, you know? And then of course for like for manga, I have Bride's Tale. I have a very difficult time pronouncing the Japanese title of it, Otoyo Megatari, I believe. And then the Yokohama Shopping Log. I like those two. I think are really amazing, just really wonderful. There's something about like, okay, first of all, Bride's Tale, the art, oh my gosh, oh my god, the patterns and the designs on the outfits are just incredible, and like the full page spreads are just amazing and they're gorgeous. I love it so much, right? It's, oh my goodness. I have pretty sure I have volumes 1 to 4, like the physical copies of it, and right, the embroidery and like the details on the like the wooden panels and the painting. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I love it so much. And Yokohama Shopping Log, there's something about the Yokohama Shopping Log. Okay, so here's the thing. I really like Yokohama Shopping Log because there is like that sense of like there was something bad happened, something terrible happened, and then the world had to adapt to it. You know, like the apocalypse happened, or you know, climate change took over, and like everything is like underwater and submerged because the ice caps melted and everything like that, right? But still, they still managed to make the most of it. They still managed to have a good life, you know? And like Alpha spends time just going around buying coffee beans. I think that's like really wonderful, and I just love just, oh my, wait. Darn it. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, chat. All right. We will put a pin. We will put a pin in this, okay? We'll put a pin in this and we'll pick it up later, okay? Well, we won't tell management if you won't. Nah, they already have me under their eye because I'm already streaming 2 times a week instead of 1 time, so I'm technically going over by an hour every single day. Okay. Oh no, it's okay. We will have more talks about this, okay? We will discuss this later, okay? So let's put a pin in that. I want to thank everyone for stopping by today. Thank you. And earlier for helping me figure out the smart media cards. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for helping me figure that out. All right. There's more to talk about, and there's more to ramble about, but unfortunately today we must go ahead and call it here. So chat, again, thank you so much for giving me an hour of your day. I'll be playing Night Delivery later on in about 11 hours. So please keep an eye out for that. The waiting room is already up. So if you'd like to hang up there, please do so. And otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful day. That's right. Good. Otsuiji. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye. Otsuiji.